with Doug Utu, a 6'5", 315-pound senior. Spicer looking to throw. And now we got whistles. And we have a penalty marker. Looks like it's going to be a false start against Gorman, so that's the first penalty of the game.
And Jeff Utu has committed already to the University of Tennessee for next fall.
I mean, in some of the games we're going to be covering here through the first few weeks on the NFHS network, I'm going to be at Mater Dei Centennial next week in Southern California. Pretty much every player you talk about could have and he's going to go to, or he has been asked to go to, he's a junior and being recruited by. I mean, up and down, this is quality football on both sidelines.
Yeah, we may need to hire a recruiter insider for these first few weeks
to
help us along.
3 to the far side for Spicer. He's got a new back in the backfield. That's Miles Norman. He's to the left of Spicer. 1 receiver near side. That's Keandre Littleton. Spicer, as the pocket collapses, is going to step up and run. He's going to throw across the middle. Intercepted! Intercepted in the backfield by Kahuku. That was Monetai with the pick at the 6-yard line, and he'll take it out to the 8, and a huge turnover forced by the defense.
Yeah, Spicer did everything good except he kept his eyes on the receiver, and Monetai read it and stepped right in front of the receiver as he threw. The pressure came from the outside. Spicer played it beautifully, stepped into the pocket and then slid out to his outside, but he never looked off that primary receiver, and that allowed the defender to step right in front of the intended receiver, make that interception, and throw out an excellent scoring opportunity for the Gales.
Huge play by the Red Raiders. And now Maratarangi back out there with a back to his left, seeing if he can give the team a little bit of breathing space here in the shadow of their own end zone. They're going to run it on first down, and that is going to be stopped in the backfield. Great job getting in there by James Carrington, the defensive lineman, the junior. A loss back to the 5-yard line, 3 yards on the play. Second and 13.
Yeah, and all the local reporters
I muted
saying
us so they
Carrington
can't
could
hear
be
us.
a real key on this defense this season. They just said he's been outstanding in preseason practices.
Yeah, we asked Coach Browner, how the last 2 weeks of practice gone? He says, we've been practicing for 8 months. They're at the point now where they're sick of seeing each other. They want to play somebody who looks different and wearing a different jersey. And Carrington's certainly ready here in the first quarter. We're coming down to the 5-minute mark. Now back at the 5-yard line is Maratarangi. And we got movement. Movement from the left guard position is going to push the Red Raiders half the distance to the goal line, their first penalty.
Yeah, they're just really right now. You almost have to kind of forfeit this series right now, Jeff, and just get some yardage so you could punt it away. It's going to be tough sledding right now to throw the football downfield here from this deep in your own zone, and you don't want to create another turnover and slant the field for Bishop Gorman.
Yeah, this might just be a get as big a push as you can on these next 2 downs and turn it into a 4th and 8.
Yeah, 2 inside draws I could see being run right here.
3 receivers, 2 to the far side. Well, let's throw the ball. And this one's going to be a quick out at the goal line. Nice job cutting back and taking it across the 6. Or out to the 6 is Noah Ayu. Boy, that was really dangerous. He caught that at the 1-yard line.
Yeah. You know, give him credit. The young man read the defender on his shoulder. That's why he made that reverse cut to the inside.
And great balance. Put that hand to the ground and pivoted at the 1-yard line and takes it out across the 5 to the 6 for a gain of 3. 3rd down and 12.
You know, some coaches feel that type of play is almost like an extended handoff, too.
Well, so far, Kahuku has been throwing the ball short. We got a lot of guys in the box, 8, and here they're going to throw a long one. It's broken up. What a great defensive play on the far side by Isaiah Nichols. That looked like it was going to be a catch for a first down, and Nichols is able to get in there and deflect the ball away, 4th down.
Yeah, what instinct by the junior right there. He broke it up, and that looked like a really good play because that guard went out there and neutralized that blitzer that was coming in on the quarterback and gave him that extra time to get that ball out there.
Well, it's a good thing, in addition to me not playing linebacker for the Red Raiders, that we're also not calling plays, because you and I had 2 dive plays into the line, and Kahuku's out there slinging it. There's a high snap. Nice job coming down with that football, Monotai, and this punt is going to be fielded on one hop by kind of Watson. He's heading to the near side, and he's going to dive inside the 45-yard line. So he's going to end up losing a couple of yards on the return. He fielded it at the Red Raiders 41 and ends up around the 44-yard line. We'll see where they give him the spot.
Yeah, great special teams tackle there by Lono Solomon, number 32. He was not sitting there and allowing him to fake him anytime. He went straight through the returner and took him off balance. Yes, the returner got a couple extra yards, but boy, that solid hit kept that from being a big return right there.
Actually, they're going to spot it at the 45. Mm-hmm. So second possession in a row where Gorman is going to start on the Kahuku side of the football field. 3:49 remaining first quarter. And now
I think some problems. I think the referee's mic is off.
What? Our technology is broken down? I'm actually, when I say our technology, this is not the NFHS network's doing, folks. We are not in charge of the comms for the officiating crew, but they're getting that sorted out right now on the field. Well, folks, this is the first of many games over the next 9 months in this high school season. And keeping an eye on the fall in particular, we've got great games coming your way all across the country here on the NFHS network. Select your favorite school, do a search on our site, follow that school, and you will get updates throughout the year via email and other ways. However you want to consume that content, we can provide it to you, as over 600,000 games slated across this high school year set to be covered on the NFHS network. I mentioned next week I'm at Centennial of Corona against Mater Dei in Southern California. Got some other good games going your way in California as well. Gorman Mater Dei the following week. We'll have that on the NFHS network. Kahuku's actually hosting Mater Dei here coming up pretty soon too. So there's going to be a lot of good games coming up with these two teams. If you're a fan of these squads, you got a nice schedule to look forward to. Spicer takes the snap. Actually, we got a new quarterback in, as Coach Browner had said, hey, check out the third series. We may go with someone else. It's paying dividends here inside the 15-yard line. On the catch goes Brandon Naea after the pass from Micah Eugenio. Eugenio, a junior, and this is what Bishop Gorman did last year, Thomas.
Yeah, we last year we did the game, and they put Kaiser in on the third series, and then I did some research, and Coach Browner did that for every game last year, and in an interview he said that he felt that he needed to do that because it would allow Kaiser to develop into a varsity starting quarterback, and he said it would get him going with ground running.
So Eugenio in there with Core in the backfield in place of Spicer, and now we got a penalty marker that's going to stop the action right away. And it looks like the call is going to be another false start against Gorman, their second penalty.
Yeah, so the conversation continued, Jeff. We asked him, what about Malika Eugenio? Are you going to do that with him? And then that's what he told us, well, you might want to stick around and find out.
Yeah. Good thing we stayed through the entire first quarter.
Yeah.
3:17 remaining. Eugenio gets the play call from the sideline. It's going to set up a 1st and 15 now back at the Kahuku 20-yard line. 3 receivers going to go to the near side of the field. Kind of Watson, the lone receiver, to the far side. Core stays in the game in the backfield. Now he's going to scoot over to the left of Eugenio, who's looking to throw. Sets up, scoots up, throws, pass is broken up.
Wow, what a play.
Boy, he had a man open. That was Derek Meadows across the middle, but sticking his paw in there was Tai Pule, and Pule knocks the ball away, 2nd down.
Yeah, he was just going back into his coverage formation, made a step and saw that ball coming in his direction, and he just put his hand out, tipped that ball away, or else that would have been 6.
And he was moving to his left. The pass was coming back to his right.
Right.
On the post route, and that was a well-timed deflection.
Yeah, he had his head on a swivel there, looking in all directions, seeing who was coming in his area.
Core now going to move to the right this time in the backfield, and they're going to fake it to him. Quick pass underneath. That pass is caught, breaking a tackle, heading upfield, picking up a first down, and getting close to the end zone. Looks like it's going to be just shy is Naea. Boy, he has been doing a nice job yards after the catch, and he sets up a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line for the Gales.
Yeah, I just love the way that play developed, as you mentioned. And once again, running right through runners. The Gales are showing that early on. They're running right through the defenders here and continue keeping their legs moving. Boy, coaches just strive for that. And you'll hear that all throughout summer camp. Keep your legs, keep chopping your legs.
Power backfield behind Eugenio, who's hit at the line, and then, actually, I think he stumbled over his center's feet, and now we've got a big push into the end zone. We have no whistle yet, and we got a touchdown for the Gales. Eugenio had the ball, was going to spin to hand it off. I think one of his linemen stepped on his foot, and he started spinning like a top, ran right into Sione Matuapuaka, and Matuapuaka just basically said, hey, son, you've got the ball now. You're going into the end zone. Don't think about handing it off to anybody, and the push from the line gets him in. A 1-yard touchdown run makes it 6-0.
Yeah, I thought Red Raiders might kind of tie that up right at the 1-yard line. But like you said, that extra oomph there by the Gales offensive lineman kind of put him over into the end zone.
Extra point try here from Borsari is good, and it's a 7-0 score with 2:25 remaining here in the opening quarter. Well, a nice drive of 45 yards for Bishop Gorman, and a nice bounce back, Thomas, after they had that interception inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, all around defense got you put the pressure, especially on that running play. They get that big loss of yardage, and like you mentioned, and this kind of forced the Red Raiders to punt, and like you mentioned, they got the good field position and went downfield, and nicely done there. Good running, good mixture of runs and passes, and they get the 7.
Well, now let's see what the Red Raiders offense can do. St. Louis is an outstanding opponent, but Gorman is in another class above that, and so this is really a nice early season test for Kahuku, and especially in particular the Kahuku offense. This defense has been pretty good. I mean, they've been playing now with a short field the last 2 possessions. They've been on the field a lot here in the first quarter, and a game that started at 102 degrees at 7 o'clock, so it's a lot to ask of this defense to keep that up for a full 48 minutes.
Yeah, Coach Carvalho told us, they have to execute, and they can't turn the ball over. And right now, they're failing in both of those categories.
Fair catch called for by Kahuku inside the 30-yard line on that short kick from Bersari, who's not letting anybody get any kind of a decent return, sacrificing maybe a little bit of field position, perhaps, for some safety in special teams. And so Kahuku will have the football. Officials, no spot yet. They're going to say the 32-yard line. Third possession of the game coming up here for the Red Raiders. 2:25 to go in the quarter.
It'll be interesting to see if they continue with the running game right now.
Well, and the passing games look pretty decent.
Yeah,
I mean, you had some good secondary play by Bishop Gorman. Otherwise, you could have a first down here. There's a couple guys going to go in motion to the near side. Kahuku quickly is going to run it to that near side, getting to the edge, cutting up field, and getting out to the 35-yard line on the carry is Shaden Kanoa, his first carry of the game. Coming up and making the tackle was Landon McComber, the linebacker, senior.
Yeah, he came up and really hit him. Good hit right there.
Well, and you're seeing a little bit of a change in the linebacker position, and especially as you kind of move up into the collegiate ranks as well with all the spread offenses. You need a guy who can move. So you're getting away from the, hey, we need a middle linebacker 6'2", 245, 250, though. If they can move laterally, that's great. And you get a guy like McComber who's a little bit lighter, but can really go sideline to sideline. Here's the pass. Cutting it back and getting inside and almost making the catch was Bodie Kaanga. Actually, excuse me, that was Kea Lerner. No, it was Kaanga. Kaanga there, number 6, not number 8. That was pretty close. The letters kind of blending together there a little bit in the jersey, but almost made a great job, great catch coming back for the football. Instead, incomplete, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and that was great coverage there by Jet Washington right there. Tough to kind of cover a guy like Kaanga there, and the throw was right there. Kaanga made a little bit of an inside move there, tried to come up with it, and he just came up short.
Martarangi, I don't think he was necessarily trying to throw the ball short. He was kind of fading to his left a little bit and had to short arm it some, but sometimes that works to the receiver's advantage. You either come back and make the catch, or you run into the D-back and you end up with a pass interference call.
Yeah.
Another 3rd down opportunity for the Red Raiders. They're going to throw across the middle, and it's incomplete.
Almost intercepted.
Yeah, that was a situation there where the safety was coming up, Jet Washington, to make a tackle. And the ball, thinking the ball might get tipped or the receiver would catch it. And it didn't even get to the receiver, so Washington a little surprised, but it'll bring up the punting unit again for Kahuku.
Yeah, the junior, one of the tallest safeties I've seen, 6'5", 200 pounds. Don't see too many safeties that tall.
I don't know if Grant Rice, the athletic director and also head basketball coach for Bishop Gorman, gets a chance to use Washington when basketball season rolls around, but if he has not made that recruiting pitch, I would highly recommend it. I might have one too many guys on the field right now for Kahuku. Nice job. Good job directing traffic there by Noah Bridges. Gets that last guy off the field, and then the snap is over the head of the punter all the way down to the 1-yard line. He's going to fall on it. Did he get in the end zone? It is a safety.
Yeah.
Actually, that might even be better for Kahuku that he didn't recover it at the 1-yard line.
I think you're exactly right. You know, and when we were talking with the Red Raiders, you know, their long snapper's out tonight, so we see the problem right there. That was a high snap.
So now you get the free kick for Kahuku. The score now 9-0 on the safety. Well, so far it's been an aspect of the game that we really didn't talk to either coaching staff about too much in the pregame, Thomas, which is special teams.
Yeah.
And that has been huge in this. You've got the one turnover on the part of Kahuku on a special teams play. Now, the previous snap was pretty high, and it took an athletic play by the punter just to corral the football. And now you've got the one that sails over his head and turns into a safety. The Red Raiders were able to dodge a problem by picking off a pass on the Gales drive when they recovered the fumble on the punt. But still, special teams is showing up big here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's almost a duplicate of how the Red Raiders started off last week. They were down at half to St. Louis 13-0, and it was a similar situation. As Coach Cavalajo told us, it was a mixture of just mistakes, penalties, and just poor play that got them in that big of a deficit. We're seeing it once again, as you mentioned. Special teams miscues now is allowed. Looks like it's going to be 9 points, and slanting that field, and you can't turn the ball over as much as they have against a Bishop Gorman team, because they will capitalize on it. And right now, another big play here is you got to really boom this football.
Brody Palolo is going to kick it off the tee. Low line drive, returnable from the 33-yard line. A man with some speed out there. Look out into Kahuku territory and knocked out of bounds around the 35-yard line on the return. That was Greg Toller. Toller got that ball and was 0 to 60 in about 0.2 seconds. I mean, he was moving. And another possession for the Gales in this first quarter on the Kahuku side of the football field.
Yeah, he was running with a purpose there on the outside. And he had a good wall right there to the far outside. So it's smart play by Toller. Let's follow that wall and get as much yardage as you possibly can.
Toller was running like the buffet was closing in 5 minutes and he hadn't eaten in a week. 1:15 to play in the quarter. And Gorman's going to stick with Eugenio, who led that nice drive on the last possession. So he's going to stay in the game for now. take the snap, hand it off, and a nice job getting the tackle in the backfield by the Red Raiders. On the running play, Grant nowhere to go. He's going to lose a yard back to the 36.
Yeah, that's 5'9" defensive lineman and Issa right there made the hit. That's tough, man.
I think Malachi Soliai Tui was in on that tackle as well. I mean, but when you're a 5'9" defensive lineman, if you are the offensive lineman misses you, you're going to get in and wreak some havoc. You'd think it would be easier because you have a size advantage, but sometimes those smaller guys are tough to pin down. Eugenio's got it back to his right this time. Grant remains in the game. He takes a snap, looks to throw. He's going to look for Grant, and it's going to be thrown incomplete. In coverage on the play was Fale Atuaya, and Atuaya just trailing the play by a step. Create a tight window for Eugenio, 3rd and 11.
Yeah, looks like he kind of led Grant a little bit too far out in front as that ball kind of dodged his hands there.
Well, the other time they threw to Grant, Grant made that great catch, the ball thrown behind him, and created a first down.
Yeah, that was Kaiser on that throw. Big play now for the Red Raiders, 3rd and 11.
Yeah, if they can get a stop here. Though it might be 2-down territory for Gorman as Eugenio's going to roll out to his right, set up, throw a deep ball into the end zone and slightly underthrown.
Great coverage there.
4th and 11 from the 36-yard line, and Gales might elect to go for it here. There's 17 seconds left in the quarter. This would be a 53-yard field goal if you attempted a field goal, and I think they might be content to, maybe a little too close for a punt. If the ball rolls into the end zone, you're only really netting 16 yards. The defense has been playing well. Might as well take a shot.
Yeah, that was Jaden Tagaloa. Had to wait for him to turn around to give him the acknowledgement there. Good coverage there in the end zone.
Grant still in at running back. 3 receivers set to the near side, 1 to the far side. Red Raiders rushing 4 here. Not a lot of pressure so far on the quarterbacks. Eugenio with a stunt coming is going to throw underneath incomplete. And he was throwing off his back foot. You got a QB pressure there if you're Kahuku. Nice job by Ben Roberts getting into the backfield and throwing a little heat on the junior. And a turnover on downs will give the ball back to the Red Raiders with 13 ticks on the clock here in the first quarter.
Yeah, how do you like that, Jeff? He got right around Doug Utu right there, the Tennessee commit, and got in on that quarterback. As you said, forced Eugenio to kind of rush his mechanics and short on that throw.
Yeah, and Roberts, he's got to use his quickness and speed there because Utu's got 85 pounds on him, and if he gets his paws on you, you're going to be stuck right there. So, and also they ran a little bit of a twist along the defensive line to the Red Raiders, so not a bad job defensively once again. And now we've got a whistle, and a timeout's going to be called by Bishop Gorman. So the coaching staff for Gorman not liking what they saw defensively against this particular lineup for the Red Raiders, who are still looking for their first down of the game. This is their best field position of the first quarter. They've had drives start on their own 35, their 8-yard line, the 32, and the 36, but not a lot of movement down the field. A couple of good defensive plays by Bishop Gorman in particular, and then the running game. Longest run of the game so far for Kahuku has been 4 yards.
Yeah, and tip of the hat to the Red Raiders defensive staff. They got the stop that they needed because you give Gorman, let's say, 3 points, you give him a 12-point lead, and in the worst-case scenario, you get 6 and an extra point, 7, and that uphill climb just got a little bit steeper.
Yeah, here you are still within distance here.
Right.
A field goal makes it a one-possession game. A touchdown obviously puts you even closer. So this game far from over here in the first quarter for certain. Here's a handoff on first down, and this will be a short gain out to the 38-yard line, a pickup of 2. And the Red Raiders are going to be content to let the clock wind down, and we have completed 1 quarter of play here at Bishop Gorman High School. 9-0 our score, the Gales over Kahuku. We will be back with more here on the NFHS Network in just a few moments, folks. Please stay with us. Hey, did you know we can do 1080? Did that pop up for you as a selection? Did we try that?
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
We're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo.
You say my kid?
Yeah.
Come on, what's wrong with you?
Team switching sides as we start the second quarter of play. 2nd down and 8 for Kahuku. Now going left to right across your screen. Pass underneath. That pass is off the hands of the tight end. Would have been very close to a first down, but Muaga Tutia could not pull it in. And that will bring up 3rd down and 8 back at the 38-yard line. Boy, that was a huge play. You make that catch, you are right at the sticks. Going to be very close for a first down.
Yeah, again, that's frustrating. They need that one little break to kind of get them going offensively. And you mentioned it, Jeff, right in the hands of the receiver, and it went off his hands and onto the turf for an incomplete.
Martarangi, that snap, too, was a little bit to his left-hand side, so he had to reach back across his body, get the ball, then get his feet set, and make the pass, and he was on target as well.
Yeah, and he's really reading the pressure well here early on.
Man in motion to the near side. They're going to throw is Kahuku. Martarangi's going to step up. Now he's going to run. He's got a block downfield. He's got a first down, and he's going to dive just shy of midfield. Nice job by the Red Raiders getting their first down of the game. And a great read by the quarterback.
And who did that look like, Jeff? Pat Mahomes. that looked exactly. That's one of the Chiefs' plays right there, taking a deep drop and then allowing your offensive tackles to spread out the defensive line, and then you have that open hole right over your either guard, and you can get that first down marker and more. Great call.
Mark that down, Martarangi family. Troy just got his first Patrick Mahomes comparison at the 11:30 mark of the second quarter of his second varsity game. Now looking left and looking to throw. He's going to sling it underneath, and he's got a man open inside the 40 for a completion at the 36-yard line, and he might start cooking now. That was Bodie Kaongo with the catch.
Oh, great catch there, and that was a terrific throw. All around, good play, good coverage. The receiver just made the play and moved the sticks. So 2 first downs in a row now for the Red Raiders. You can see the confidence kind of in this team now huddling up.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to hit that first jump shot. You know, he completed a pass earlier, but in this case, in the jump shot analogy, it's a first down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need one. And Martarangi now playing with a little bit of extra energy as he's clapping his hands in the backfield with a running back to his left. He's going to put a tight end in motion. That's Ayu to the near side. Here's a handoff. Running right. Good pursuit from the backside by Prince Williams, making the tackle inside the 35, down at the 34-yard line. Isaiah Joaquin with his first carry. He'll pick up 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, right now, Red Raiders, they're still concerned about their running game, and you can see it. It's just not there right yet. But, boy, give credit to that front 7 of Bishop Gorman, man. They know how to really stand up this offensive line and just seal up those holes quickly.
Well, and you've got to keep running the football, though. If you're
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Even if
they got to find a running game. You're exactly right.
Even if it's 2 or 3 yards at a crack, you got to at least make Bishop Gorman play that as well. 2 receivers far side, 1 near side. Same back in the backfield. Maraturanga sets up to pass, throws it underneath and underthrown and intercepted at the 19. He was throwing off his back foot, and a nice read by Brayton Correa coming back for the football. It is the second turnover of the game for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, poor throw right there. Looked like he wanted to arch that ball a little bit higher over the defender. Instead, it lands right into the lap of Correa for the interception. Third turnover now for the Red Raiders. 2 turnovers, excuse me.
Well, and credit that defensive front, just like we saw a little bit ago with Eugenio, who threw off his back foot and threw an incompletion because there was pressure coming from Kahuku the last time Bishop Gorman had the ball. Right there, Maratarangi feeling it the same way.
Yeah. Yes, apologize, muff punt, then the interception, and then they also had the safety in the end zone after the bad snap.
Well, Gorman now looking at their worst field position of the game, starting at their own 20-yard line. See if Melvin Spicer is back in the game now. A handoff on first down. Spicer is back in the game. That's going to be a nice running play out across the 25 to the 26-yard line on first down. Carry on the play from Miles Norman. Gain of 6.
We might see Gorman here kind of just run the football here and try to, extend that lead, but also take time off the clock and really make it a tough battle for the Red Raiders, where they would have to abandon the running game to kind of get more possessions here in this contest.
Starting at your own 20 does kind of cry out for a grinded out kind of style here, as Norman, another carry, is going to pick up the first down across the 35-yard line.
Yeah, good straight ahead running right there by the back, number 24.
Yeah, Norman takes it out to the 37, gain of 11 yards, so 2 carries, 17 yards.
5'8", 170, and really strong and hard to get off his feet.
Well, and then you got to find him, and he's quick through the line. I mean, you can hide behind. I mean, you've got an offensive line going 310, 325, 340, 275. I'd follow them through the mall. I'd probably get to every store pretty quickly.
Yeah, he can nibble through the front of it.
Spicer looking to throw here with an empty backfield underneath, dumps it off. Nice job breaking a tackle, first down and more. And it's a foot race now up the middle of the field, inside the 20-yard line and down near the 10 on the play. Nice job by Naea again with another bunch of yards after the catch.
Yeah, that was just a great throw there by Spicer. He felt the pressure coming, stepped in, and then just made the right read there and threw it for big yardage there. Great call.
As the pocket was collapsing around him.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great job. As now it's going to be, let's say, they're going to mark it at the 10-yard line, so a first and goal situation for Bishop Gorman. Spicer's going to move Norman to his right and then give it to him. Norman stutter step and will be knocked down at the 9-yard line. Nice tackle on the play by Sione Passi, who is not only an outstanding football player, but a pretty darn good student as well, heading to Dartmouth next year. Many of you start factoring the Ivy Leagues into it. You know that you're doing pretty well in the classroom, too. In fact, both of these coaches, as we got a timeout called by Kahuku, and probably a good time here. The defense looks a little gassed, Thomas.
Yeah.
Both of these coaches mentioned how much they enjoy, obviously, football and coaching, but also the teaching aspect.
Yeah.
Coach Browner for Bishop Gorman was saying, look, we do really well. We've been very successful. Obviously, that's all very important. But the flip side is, he said, if we went 0-10 and I got the number of kids into college that we've been getting into colleges, not just for football, but just for academics as well, that would be a success for me. And, Coach Carvalho is an online math teacher.
Right?
Yeah, and he says, I love that. I mean, his eyes lit up talking about that as much as it did talking about the X's and O's of the game tonight. So it's great to see two committed coaches who are also committed to education as well.
Yeah, a lot of times these top programs get kind of lumped in as not caring about the academic side of athletics, but both of these coaches are the epitome of that. They do. They want both ends for these players, because that means success once the time on the field ends.
Yeah, well, the NFHS is committed to education-based athletics, and that's
Right.
what we've got going on with these two teams on the football field tonight. As Gorman looking at a 2nd and goal out of the Kahuku timeout at the Red Raiders' 9-yard line. 7:28 remaining in the half. Folks, at halftime, Thomas and I will step away for a little bit, come back with a short NFHS Network halftime show, get you set for the second half of action here from Bishop Gorman High School. First game of the year for the Gales. Red Raiders, a 14-13 win over St. Louis last week. Spicer with an empty backfield. Looking to throwing a little out route, and a nice open field tackle around the 2-yard line. Pass is caught by kind of Watson. Actually going to mark it at the 3, a gain of 6 yards, setting up 3rd and goal.
And that's that timing route. You get the snap, you get it out there quick. But great read there. I didn't catch the number, Jeff, on that defender, but he got out there quickly and stopped that play immediately. Yes, he caught the football, but there was no easy path to the end zone as the way that play is designed.
Terrence Grant's going to come into the game. He'll be the deep back behind Spicer. 2 receivers to the near side. You got single coverage there, single coverage on the far side as well. Now Grant moves to the left. Fake to him, fade, and broken up. Great read by the safety. Boy, that was a fantastic play. He moved immediately in that direction on the play fake. I think once again, and we've been calling his name a lot, I believe that's Monetai out there.
Yeah.
It is. Look at that.
Yeah,
he has been everywhere in this first half. 4th and goal.
Yeah, once again, Kaiser tries to get that ball out and quickly off the snap and just could not get it there. As you said, Monetai just put a hand up and blocked it out.
Well, he was moving immediately on the play. It wasn't like hesitate, see where it's going, and then go. He was moving. You're going to have 1 receiver to the far side of the field. That's Toller. 3 to the near side. Grant still in the game in the backfield to the left of Spicer. Big 4th and goal here. Now Grant's going to move to the right, and Coach Browner is going to sprint onto the football field to call timeout. You've got a 5-man officiating crew, and they had all their backs to the coach, and he had to get somebody's attention. The line judge was all the way down at the 5-yard line, and Coach Browner, who I think if we timed him in the 40 there, was running at least a 4.5.
That was a pretty good 40 right there.
Yeah, that was a good 4.5 right there, let's call it. I'm sure Coach Browner would have given us a 4.4 20 years ago, 10 years ago.
Right.
Calls the timeout. 6:41 on the clock.
Yeah, obviously he didn't like the alignment. That's why he called the timeout.
But, it's nice to see the coaches showing some early season quickness as well, right? They asked a lot of the players. Coach Browner looked like he'd been doing some conditioning work with his team.
Yeah, might as well. Well, we walked in that performance gym earlier today. That is amazing.
That is something to see. NFHS Network will be back here multiple times during the course of the year. Our next game featuring Bishop Gorman at Bishop Gorman. Orange Lutheran from the CIF Southern section, Southern California, will be coming to town here. We'll have that coverage for you on the NFHS Network. Orange Lutheran in the Trinity League, one of the top leagues in the country, features Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, Santa Margarita, J. Sarah, and Servite, along with Orange Lutheran. And pretty much every one of those games features multiple future D1, D2, and D3 athletes all over the place.
So another top 8 level opponent doesn't really.
Yeah, well, as Coach Browner said, I made the schedule, so it's on me. All right, out of the timeout, 4th and 3. Gorman's going to keep the offense on the field. This time they're going to, instead of putting Toller on the far side by himself, it's going to be Derek Meadows. Toller's now going to be on the near side along with 2 other receivers. Grant is going to shift to Spicer's right in the backfield on 4th and goal from the 3. Spicer looking to throw. Sets up, and he's going to be sacked. First sack of the game, and the Kahuku defense coming up big again, as this time getting back there. Ben Roberts, not just the QB pressure this time, he gets the QB sack at the 10.
Yeah, Meadows was open for a minute, but Spicer never looked his direction on the far side, and that allowed Roberts, as he kept looking for an open receiver on the other side of the field, and that allowed Roberts to get in on a good, strong move to the quarterback on the inside on that tackle to get him for the sack.
Boy, this Coach Carvalho was not joking when he said our defense is pretty good. I mean, they've had their backs against the wall throughout the better part of this first half, and they have come up with big plays every time.
No doubt, and we've seen it in the past, Jeff, where defense can hold, and then eventually they will break for the amount of time they've been on the field. But we have not seen that yet from the Red Raiders. Another stance here for them. They're keeping their offense in the game right now.
So the Red Raiders taking over at their own 10-yard line. On first down, they're looking to throw. Going to throw underneath. That pass is complete and out to the 14-yard line for a gain of 4. Nice tackle in the open field by Washington. Or excuse me, that was Toller making the tackle.
Yeah.
Followed in there quickly by Landon McComber.
Yeah, that was Noah Ayu there with the reception.
But a nice tight end route across the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 6. It's actually a nice first down. That's one of the best first down plays Kahuku has had in this first half. And I don't say that facetiously, Thomas. I mean, that, a 4-yard gain, usually they've been 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7. 2nd and 6 opens up the playbook here a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what, in these type of games, especially early in the season, Jeff, I'll say if the play.
Well, screen pass underneath and a nice open field tackle again. This time it is Jet Washington getting in there. The ball will be spotted at the 15 for a gain of a yard.
In these early season games, you'll try a lot of plays at the start, and then that's when coaching staffs begin to whittle down what plays are really working as a team. And we could probably see that in the second half for the Red Raiders, kind of whittling down their total plays. You might run 70 different plays and then whittle that down to 40 that you'll use game in and game out.
3rd down and 5. Kahuku trying to move the sticks here, give their defense a little bit of a rest as we've ticked under 5 minutes remaining in the half. Maratarangi looking to throw. He's going to throw sidearm again, and he's going to throw it over the head of the tight end, Ayu. And he's throwing it quickly and off his back foot, Thomas. You think that's a part of the pressure being provided by Bishop Gorman? He's really just kind of trying to get it out of there quickly, and it's causing some slips in accuracy.
That time Williams came in on a little blitz package there and really came up tight to kind of trying to disrupt him there.
Well, now you've got the punting unit on, and then this has been a little bit of an adventure here in the first half as Muaga Tutia, who's one of the best long snappers in the country, is ready to snap this football away. He's had 2 that have been pretty high. This one is much better. The punt is away. It is not going to be returnable. It's going to take a bounce. Actually, what do I know? They're going to pick it up for the Gales at the 48-yard line, and they're not going to get anywhere. Maybe a yard to the 49, and a 1-yard return, and that is where Bishop Gorman will have the football with 4:36 remaining in the half.
Yeah, give credit to Hayden Stepp. I mean, he got hit almost as immediately as when he secured that football.
And we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick timeout as well here on the NFHS Network. Back with more Gorman football leading at 9-0. We're back after this.
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great. Participate.
First and 10, Bishop Gorman. The ball at their own 49-yard line. As Spicer is going to roll out, drop back, look near side. He's going to throw a little wheel route, and the pass is caught by Norman at the 33-yard line for a first down. What a great route run by Norman.
Yeah, he got number 22, Atelier, right there. Kind of caught him flat-footed with that wheel route. He did not expect that. And give credit to that safety coming over. He knocked him out, because if he doesn't knock him out, he's going for possibly more yardage downfield, and he might have even scored.
Well, Thomas, that looked like a screen coming out of the backfield, and that's what the linebackers thought as well. And then Norman, with his great foot speed, turned it into the wheel route. And he's going to stay in the backfield with Spicer. 2 receivers near side plus a tight end. 1 receiver to the far side. Now Norman's going to move to the left. He is going to take the handoff, cut upfield, find a hole, bounce to the outside, and pick up close to 10 yards.
Wow. Like you said, he is hard to square up and hit. He kind of bounces off defenders, and that time bounced off defenders and got another first down.
Norman has been the guy here in the first half for Bishop Gorman to get the big yards. I mean, so has, and let's just say this, I mean, every time we talk about Brandon Naea is getting big yards after the catch in the receiving game. But Norman on the ground and out of the backfield has been a nice weapon for the Gales here in the first half.
Yeah, Terrence Grant started off the running game pretty well, but I agree with you. Norman has given them that extra step in becoming a really dominant running game.
Spicer's going to step up. Now he's got a lot of running room. He cuts up field, and he's going to pick up another first down, or at least it's going to be very close, inside the 15-yard line. You're right. I think they do have a spy on him out there, and that time playing the spy role was Malachi Soliai Tui.
And that was a great open field tackle, because he got faked, and he was almost on his knees, and he grabbed them by his hands. He must have the strongest hands on the Red Raiders squad, because Spicer just stopped in his tracks and went down to the ground.
Gain of 9 yards. Now under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Gales looking for a little more of a cushion going into halftime. Here's a high snap, and keeping it is Spicer, and now he's going to throw a lateral. That should be a loose football. Or no, they're going to say incomplete. I don't know, had he crossed the line of scrimmage? I thought he'd already crossed the line of scrimmage. That's got to be an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, I thought it was a backward pass myself.
I did too, which means it's a live football there, and the Gales picked it up in the end zone, which would have been a touchdown.
Well, right now we see the officials lining up, Jeff, and I think because the whistle blown, they won't rule it obviously a touchdown.
Well, let's see what the call is
yeah,
here.
Here we go.
They're going to say it's an illegal forward pass.
Okay.
I think there was just a lot happening on that play.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. He had crossed the line of scrimmage, so I understand that, but that looked like a backward pass, in which case that's a live football right there.
I hear you.
And Kahuku may be fortunate because the Gales picked it up in the end zone, but instead it is going to be a penalty, a 5-yard penalty. It will set up third down back at the 15-yard line. Third down and about 2.5, maybe 3 yards.
Lost it down.
Actually,
too.
lost it down. Actually, yeah. I'd say third down. It should now be fourth down.
The officials huddling up again, Jeff. Week 1.
It is. Well, look.
Week 0.
Hey, the officials are this is their first game too, right? Everyone's working through it. So, and obviously it's a lot easier to call a game from up in a press box than it is down on the field when you're wearing the striped shirt. And folks, if you thought to yourself right there, hey, that seems pretty obvious, you might need to become an official. National Federation looking for officials in all sports all the time. It really helps the games grow and help the community as well. Maybe you aren't thinking, well, football isn't my jam. All right, well, water polo in some areas, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball, lacrosse. There's a lot of opportunities. Go to nfhs.org and do a search for how do I become an official, and you can sign up, and people in your state will get a hold of you. Third down and short for the Gales. 2:43 remaining in the half. Spicer takes a snap. He's going to keep it on the ground. Tripped up in the backfield is Norman, but he may have had forward progress. He is going to be very close to the marker.
I agree. The only thing that makes me say he didn't get it is the way that sideline official on the far side walked in. But I'm with you. I thought he got it when I first was watching the play.
And they didn't give the loss of down, Thomas. They're saying it's 4th down now.
Can the Red Raiders have another 4th down?
4th and 1.
Here we go.
Coming down to the 2-minute mark as the Gales go with a jumbo package in the backfield. None of the coaches are complaining too much about that last call. Here's a late handoff, and we got flags anywhere, and I think we got movement along that offensive line before the snap of the football. And maybe that changes the equation for the Gales. Yeah, they're sending the field goal unit out now as Borsari is coming onto the field. That's going to be the 4th penalty of the first half on the Gales, all of 5 yards.
You know, sometimes those unique packages where you try to get the advantage on the opponent, they kind of blow up in your face because you don't practice it too often, and the timing is just not there in those type of unique packages plays.
Borsari is looking at a 35-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. His first one of the year. Good snap. Kick is up, and it is good. Just getting across the crossbar. And it's a 12-0 game as the Gales complete the drive with a 35-yard field goal. Well, a nice job by Bishop Gorman to come away with points, and I got to think a little bit of a win for the defense as well for Kahuku. They have been standing strong inside the red zone.
Yeah, I think the Red Raiders are saying we got them right where we want. We're down 12-0. We came back last week.
Right.
Let's see what we can do.
This looks eerily reminiscent of last week's game against St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I think Coach Carvalho, if that becomes the option, he's going to just say, guys, what if we just spot them 2 touchdowns and start the game in the second half?
Yeah.
1:49 to go in the first half of play. You've had 6 possessions in the game for Gorman, and they have scored twice. This Kahuku defense has been tough, but Bishop Gorman's defense, we haven't talked about them a lot, mostly because Gorman has really been trying to stave off these attacks by, or excuse me, Kahuku's been trying to stave off these attacks by Bishop Gorman, but Gorman's defense has been outstanding. I mean, they've only given up a couple of first downs in the game, and Kahuku has crossed midfield once.
Be on the look for the onside kick here just to kind of wake things up for Gorman.
Well, Bishop Gorman's been kicking the ball short.
Mm-hmm.
And this time they're going to kick it a little bit deeper, but this is going to be returnable from inside the 5-yard line off the foot of Trent Walker. On the return across the 25 out near the 27-yard line for a return of about 24 yards. And now we got a penalty marker at the end of the play. On that return was Madden Soliai. So Soliai, a decent return, but let's see what happens at the end of this one. Boy, Coach Browner not going to be pleased if this is a little bit of extracurricular against the Gales at the end of that special teams play. Oh, that's going to go against Kahuku. Well, now it's Coach Carvalho who's not going to be happy. Just the second penalty of the game for the Red Raiders, but this one is going to cost them some field position.
Yeah, and it's not half the distance because they're at the 27-yard line.
This might put them all the way back at the 12. Let's see.
Yep, that's where they're walking to. Right now.
Well, they're actually going to spot it at the 18. So they are going to call it half the distance, Thomas.
All right. I thought when the ball was spotted past the 20, it was you get full.
That was my thought as well, but now the referees are talking it over. And yeah, there we go.
There we go.
You were right.
What's that number again?
Yeah.
National one?
I know. NFHS.org.
There we go. Might bring that up over the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a bad idea.
catch a couple of games.
It's going to go back to the 13-yard line, so that is where Kahuku will start on first down, and they're going to snap the ball quickly, and a quick out route is going to be completed out near the 17, maybe the 18-yard line for a gain of 5 yards.
That's the first time where he got the ball out quickly.
Yes.
And you might want to do that a little bit more. You know, when we were talking to the coaches, that was the one thing I was trying to bring up. He threw 37 passes last week. That's a lot in my opinion, for a first-time starter at the varsity level. So they feel very confident with him throwing the football, obviously. And I think with the type of speed that Gorman has, as you mentioned, defensively, you got to get that ball out quickly to your receivers. Can't hold it.
Tarangi is going to throw a quick one again and through the hands of his tight end, Ayu.
Second one for him.
That's a second drop by a tight end for Kahuku. And we'll call that on a catchable ball. I mean, the ball a little bit higher. Certainly you'd like it maybe around neck level, chest level, but one where you can get both hands on it. And now 3rd down and 5 with 1:34 left in the half. $12-0 our score. Bishop Gorman looking for a big stop here. They get the ball back and punt it away. You're probably going to get the ball around midfield again.
Yeah, and easily another chance to put some points on the board.
Tarangi is going to throw almost a jump pass up for grabs and incomplete. Really all he had. He kind of slipped a little bit as he was planning back there, and then the defense was coming in. I don't even think he could see his receiver, Thomas.
Yeah, and I actually think he got hit as he threw that football. Trying to get that number. It looked like numbers. Trying to get that number.
Well, the punting unit is on once again, as it has in the 6 possessions that the Red Raiders have had in the first half. 5 have ended with a punt. Good snap. High kick, very short kick, though. Very short kick. We'll take a Kahuku bounce, which is fortunate because it bounced at the 27-yard line, and then we'll be down at the 35. And meanwhile, we've got a little bit of extracurricular at the end of the play.
Looks like the punter didn't appreciate what happened there.
Well, Noah Bridges got tied up with Axel Ferry. No penalty markers, though, and it will be Bishop Gorman football at the Kahuku 35-yard line with 1:15 to play.
Now, I want to give the pressure for Gorman on that last play was number 10. Tomatoe Neote Ote got in on the quarterback, and I think he kind of disrupted his footing there.
Spicer back out this time with Jonathan Core in the backfield. Core will line up to the right in a 3-receiver package with a tight end left. On first down, Spicer going to drop way back, set up, step up. Now he's going to run, and he's going to run out of room. Nice job in the pursuit by Lano Solomon. Spicer is going to be sacked for the 2nd time in the game. Only a loss of 2 back to the 37-yard line. But boy, this spy tactic, the Spies have been up for it for Kahuku.
Yeah, they're not allowing Spicer at all to get outside of the tackles.
James Bond somewhere is taking notes, Thomas, right now, as Spicer going to take the snap on 2nd and 12. Step up again, rolling right. He's going to throw underneath. That pass is caught. Nice cutback move. And a first down inside the 20. Great job by Derek Meadows, the senior wide receiver, with the catch and the first down.
Yeah, Mr. All Everything. I was just going to mention, we haven't called his name once here in the first half, and Meadows comes out of nowhere to make a play and shows you why he's the top receiving top receiving recruit for the senior class, and he's already committed to LSU for next fall.
Timeout called by Bishop Gorman with 27 seconds to go in the half. Well, if you look at Meadows at 6'6", 205 pounds, and he caught the ball, Thomas, stepped back toward the line of scrimmage, turned around, then did a jump cut to his left. That's something you'd see a running back do, going across the line of scrimmage, and left 3 Kahuku guys who were heading to the right trying to cut him off. And then suddenly Meadows has extra yardage and is down at the 20-yard line, or actually the 19. So,
yeah, and all that is done by an athlete that is 6'6", 205.
Yeah, 6'6", 205. Pretty incredible.
As you mentioned, Jeff, 27 seconds left. Good field position. Definitely within range of getting 3 points here.
Yeah, Bersari.
Yeah, but you got to believe that the Gorman's going to try to go for the end zone.
Yeah, and Kahuku, it would be huge for the Red Raiders to go into the locker room, assuming a field goal is made and no touchdown scored by Bishop Gorman. Being down 15-0, that's a 2-possession game, given how the first half is gone offensively. But Bishop Gorman has other ideas. They've got 4 receivers set up. Core back in the game to the left of Spicer in the backfield. Spicer on first down. Pocket collapses again. He's going to throw. He's got a man open, and the pass is caught at the 1-yard line by Meadows. Actually, at the 2, a gain of 17. The clock will stop temporarily while the chains move. Spicer up to the line of scrimmage. You might spike this football right away, and that's what he's going to do. Yeah. Clock will stop with 17 seconds left.
Great catch here by Meadows. He was double teamed there and then almost triple teamed as the safety kind of got lost in the end zone.
Boy, Meadows, you're right. We hadn't mentioned him at all, and now he's gotten the last 33 yards on 2 catches. I don't know. He's a big target out there. He's hard to miss.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on him here. He's lining up on the left side near the sideline. You've got Norman back in the game, and he's quick across the line of scrimmage. First and goal from the 2. Spicer looking to throw. He's looking for Norman out of the backfield. He makes the catch, touchdown. What a tough catch. Bishop Gorman and Spicer, their first passing touchdown of the year.
Yeah, just too many weapons on the field right now for the Gales. And just not enough defenders right there for the Red Raiders. You got to concentrate on, as we mentioned, Meadows. And then Norman coming out of the backfield kind of slips through a would-be coverage and gets open for the score.
Bersari on for the extra point. Tough snap. He's got to stutter step his kick, and he ekes it over the goal, over the crossbar on what could best be described as using a chipping wedge to get it in. That was well done. I wonder how his golf game is. 19-0 is our score with 13 seconds left in the half. And Gorman breaking through for their second touchdown of the game.
Yeah, good work there by Bishop Gorman.
Well, Thomas, they've started, of their 7 drives in the first half, 4 have come on the Kahuku side of the football field. And one of those drives started at the 40 and the other at the 49 of Bishop Gorman. I mean, that's just outstanding field position the entire first half. That the score is only 19-0 at this point is pretty remarkable on the defense's part by Kahuku.
It's tough to keep a team out of the end zone when the field's that slanted for them. Yeah, you just can't hold it all day. And believe me, the Red Raiders have done an excellent job defensively. It's just, especially on that play, they just had way too many weapons on the field.
Well, and credit Gorman. Nice execution.
Yes.
In that 2-minute drill, Spicer doing a great job guiding the offense. Meadows with a couple of big catches, and Spicer creating some lanes, passing lanes with his feet under some pretty heavy pressure from the defensive line of the Red Raiders.
Yeah, no doubt.
Bersari to kick off. His 2 kicks have been short by design. He's going to do it here as well. This is going to be returnable from the 28-yard line. Trying to head to the far side of the field, now cutting back and getting out to the 30. Looks like that was Kale Lerner. Lerner on the return of about 3 yards. And there are 6 seconds left in the half. And what do you do here if you're Kahuku? Do you take a knee? Do you run a little dive play into the line?
I would just take a knee and just kind of regroup here.
Bishop Gorman will get the ball to begin the second half of play as Kahuku got the ball first.
Not a whole lot you can do here. I would just try to regroup right now. Because the Red Raiders coaching staff has to kind of emphasize that there is a second half to this game. And, just got to make adjustments and really protect the football.
Well, we got an empty backfield. Might be a wildcat type of situation here as Mara Tarangi not in the game at the moment. Well, they're going to throw it, and a nice out route is going to be dropped. This is Christian Sanford Tupuola, the 6'3 junior, in at quarterback right now. That pass dropped at the 35-yard line on a little out route. It's the third drop we've seen by Kahuku here in this first half that could have netted them some good yardage. That took just 3 seconds off the clock. So we hope Mara Tarangi is okay. We haven't seen anything that indicates there was an injury or anything along that line, but
he is on the sidelines, right behind the play caller.
Oh, it's going to be a running play here to end the first half. It'll be a short gain out to the 33-yard line, and that will complete the first half of play. Well, Bishop Gorman pitching a shutout right now in their home opener. A 19-0 lead over the number one team out of Hawaii, the Kahuku Red Raiders. We're going to step away here on the NFHS Network. Come back in about 10 minutes with the NFHS Network halftime show. Get you set for second half action. Once again, your halftime score, Bishop Gorman 19 and Kahuku 0 on your home for high school sports, the NFHS Network.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo!
You see my kid?
Yeah!
Come on! What's wrong with you?
I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for all that you do officiating high school football.
What you do matters, and what you do is important for our student athletes.
Without you and what you do, it's just practice.
I know you've worked hard in your preparation this offseason, and now it's game time.
Go out there and call them like you see them.
Embrace the grind.
And the biggest thing of all is to have fun.
Please, stay safe, have a great season, and we'll all be watching.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Going to college for esports feels amazing. Growing up, it's something I never thought would happen. My family never thought it would happen. And then within 2.5 years, here I am.
He's actually a madman whenever it comes to playing on the sticks. You know, he's going to be the first one that pursues this into an academic career.
Me getting an esports scholarship could show other students that it's possible for them too, as long as they put their mind to it and put some effort into it.
All runners are different, and we're here for everyone. The beginners, everydayers, once-in-a-whilers, the treadmillers, track goers, and trailblazers. For every mile, marathon, stretch, and stride, we're here for gearing up and having fun. All the ways you run, all budgets, all at Academy. Have fun out there.
Halftime here on the NFHS Network, live at Bishop Gorman High School, where the evening has descended to a crisp 97 degrees as we are at 19-0 in the score. Bishop Gorman leading it over Kahuku out of Hawaii, the number 1 team in Nevada against the number 1 team from Hawaii. Kahuku coming in ranked number 30 in the country. Bishop Gorman, last year's Max Preps national champion, and ranked number 2 coming into their first game of the season. Jeff Kurtz alongside Thomas Conroy. Our producer tonight is Chris Cashman. Executive producers Brian Vilvin and Finn Prendergast. Camera people Gabriel Kurtz and Matthew Burke. Our crew doing great work here, getting everything set up and bringing you tonight's game. We thank them very much for that. Thomas, let's quickly review the scoring from the first half. And it was all on the Bishop Gorman side of the ledger. They started out in the first quarter with a 1-yard touchdown run by their backup quarterback, Eugenio, taking one in from a yard out to give their team a 7-0 lead. Then a safety on a long snap that went over the head of the Kahuku punter into the end zone, and he fell on it for a safety. 9-0 Gorman after 1. And then in the second quarter, they added a 35-yard field goal by Bersari, and then a 2-yard touchdown pass from Spicer to Norman. And that is how we got to a 19-0 score. 9 first downs for Gorman in the first half. They turned the ball over once on an interception. 4 penalties for 20 yards. Meanwhile, for Kahuku, 2 first downs, 2 penalties for 11 yards. They turned the ball over twice, once on a fumble, the other on an interception. You can almost count the safety as a turnover as well of sorts.
I did
and then
inadvertently.
and then 2 sacks in the game by the Kahuku defense. So, you look at those numbers, and with an average field position, or 4 possessions for Bishop Gorman taking place on the Kahuku side of the field, and then 2 others taking place at their own 49 and 40-yard line. You can look at the scoreboard and go, it should be 35-0 right now. Credit the Kahuku defense keeping it at 19. And the Red Raiders offense needs to show up in the second half. Otherwise, this is going to be a long rest of the evening. Gorman's defense has been outstanding.
Yeah, well, once again, the offense has not found the stride yet. And we saw a quarterback change. It'll be interesting to see if that continues, here in the second half. We don't know whether or not there was an injury at the end, and he was just getting treatment. I did see him behind the play caller right as the clock struck 0. So that will be kind of the next shoe to fall there, whether we see a quarterback change with the Red Raiders. But it's everything that the coaching staff said to us in pregame, that you can't have the mistakes, we can't have the turnovers, and we can't have the penalties. And like you mentioned, a couple of those penalties were killers because it moved them deep in their own territory, which with an offense that's struggling just has a hard time. The playbook is almost, you might as well throw it out the window, because there's really nothing safe at that point when you're a struggling offense just trying to find your identity.
We're just under 3 minutes left before the start of the second half, Thomas. I don't know if we read too much into Coach Carvalho going with Christian Sanford Tupuola. There were 13 seconds left in the first half, and Bishop Gorman is slated to get the ball first, so we may not know for a while. Was that just hey, let's get our backup a couple of reps here before the end of the half, given we're probably not going to drive 80 yards in 13 seconds? Or is it a function of, we'd like to make a change? So we'll see how that develops when the Red Raiders take over the football in the second half. I mean, and if you look at what Coach Carvalho was telling us before the game, we got to cut down on our penalties. And they only had 2, but you were right. They were at key times. Yeah. And then the turnovers, the interception, the fumble, and they only gave away just the 1 touchdown on those 2 turnovers. But then you had the bad snap that led to a safety. The defense has played well. It could be a lot more on the scoreboard right now, and all credit to Gorman's defense in the first half, holding a top-rated team out of Hawaii to 2 first downs, and they only crossed midfield once. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and on the Gorman side is how do we get Kaiser a little bit more space for him to run, because they have not done an excellent job with that, with the shadow right there. Oh, excuse me, Spicer coming out of the backfield. They've done an excellent job with the shadow defender and really kind of negating his ability to run once he gets past the line of scrimmage as a dual quarterback.
Do you think we see a little more of Micah Eugenio in the second half for Bishop Gorman?
I wouldn't be surprised. One thing Coach Browner said in that interview that I referred in the pregame, he doesn't like bringing in young quarterbacks and blowouts because he feels that you don't learn anything, because everybody, the other side is they haven't given up, but they know it's a rough night, and they're going to kind of play vanilla defense the rest of the way once it hits a certain point on the scoreboard. So we might see him, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him maybe in the first series here in the second half while this game is still kind of in question.
Or do you stick with him maybe in the third series? I guess maybe it depends on what happens in the first 2 possessions for Bishop Gorman in the second half.
One thing we confirmed tonight, he is a third series quarterback switcher.
Yes, he is. I think we could definitively call that a trend now on the part of Coach Browner.
So that'll be interesting. And the Red Raiders are out and they're stretching right now. I thought maybe we might see warming up with the quarterbacks, but we haven't seen that yet.
Well, Martarangi is throwing.
Okay, good.
But he's also throwing with all the other quarterbacks as well. So they're all getting some tosses in, so it's hard to read anything out of that.
Yeah.
So teams completing their warm-ups as we get set to start the second half here in the first week of the football season on the NFHS Network, our live coverage. And when we say we're kicking off what it should be a very exciting year of high school sports, we are pretty fired up about it, and we hope you are as well. Games taking place all around the country and really starts to get rolling next week. And then by Labor Day weekend, we are in full effect everywhere. No one is left out at that point.
Yeah, I was totally shocked when doing game prep for our contest tonight that Hawaii already started. And then when we were talking to some of the personnel staff for the coaches, they're already 2 weeks into school.
Yeah, we asked them, hey, has school started yet? Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, we've been back for 2 weeks. We've been doing this for a while. The Kahuku squad came out on Monday.
Yeah. And
they did a little top golf, which Coach Carvalho said everyone thinks they can drive the ball, and that proved to be a bit humbling for everybody. And so if anyone was thinking on the Kahuku sideline, hey, if this football thing doesn't work out, maybe I can move to golf, they may be thinking differently now after a trip to Top Golf. But they had study hall and online classes, and took them a few days to get oriented to the time difference. It is a 3-hour jump from Hawaii to here. But Coach said by the end of Wednesday, we felt pretty comfortable with where everyone was at, and they turn around and fly out tomorrow morning. And it was pretty funny, Thomas. We came into town, and we're like, okay, we got to make sure we get a chance to touch base with the coaching staffs before the game and all that. And we roll up to our hotel this afternoon, and sitting in the lobby was Kahuku.
Yeah.
Made our job very easy.
I was like, wow, you didn't have to meet us here.
That's right. No, that was done completely accidentally on our part.
Exactly.
Kahuku now going right to left across your screen. They will be kicking off, and that will be Brody Pololo who will be doing the honors. 2 back to receive, standing around the 15-yard line for the Gales. We are getting ready for the second half, and Gorman looking to see if they can add to what's already a 19-0 lead. Here is the kick. It is going to be returnable from the 6-yard line. Out across not even to the 20. A nice job in special teams pursuit by the Red Raiders.
Wow, I thought that ball was loose for a minute.
Boy, guys were flying to the football there. So a short return.
We talked about the big miscue, obviously with the snap, but I'll tell you one thing. They run their special teams running their lanes about as perfectly as I've seen a squad in a long time. There's not a lot of kind of lag on the outside to the inside where you could probably break a couple of tackles and take one to the house. They are very well schooled in special teams, the Red Raiders.
Zyron Menor with a 9-yard return. The ball at the 15-yard line. This is the worst field position for Bishop Gorman in the game. Spicer on first down is going to hand it off and up the middle and into the secondary with a first down and more out near the 35-yard line. On the carry goes Jonathan Core with his longest run from scrimmage. And now we've got an injured player back around the 20-yard line for Kahuku, as the Red Raiders came up with some injuries in their first game. Kaimana Carvalho, who is the nephew of Sterling Carvalho, the head coach. It's Coach Carvalho's twin brother's son. Starting running back this year, hurt his ankle in the first series from scrimmage against St. Louis last week. There were a couple other injuries as well, a couple players out sick. So not the full travel squad, and that requires some guys in the second unit to step up, Thomas, and we may have that situation arising here for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, hopefully not. We'd like to see that young man sit up, or right now, but he's still on his back, as I can see.
Yeah, we haven't caught the number, and we're not trying to speculate early here, folks. Want to make sure we give you the right information.
Now it looks like the young man looks like he's going to proceed to get up, and hopefully walk off on his own power.
Meanwhile, while that's happening, beautiful view of the Strip here in Las Vegas. Great job by our camera crew getting that shot for you. So that looked like that might have been Aiden Monetai there. Was that Monetai? Boy, he's been a huge contributor in the first half for his team, so he's coming out of the game. That is a big loss for the Red Raiders. Is stepping into that secondary spot is Lano Solomon. Spicer is looking to test the secondary right away. He's going to get a quick out route, and stepping out of bounds with the reception is Naea, who that's the first time he hasn't taken a catch and turned it into more yardage, and only because he ran out of real estate along the sideline. That's going to be a nice gain on first down. The last play out to the 33-yard line. This pass play a gain of 6 to the 39.
Yeah, that was nice coverage. They just wanted to contain him, not try to go one-on-one with him, and then, they've already got burnt a few times, as you mentioned, with his superior athleticism.
Good high percentage pass on the part of Melvin Spicer.
Yeah, I like the way he's quarterbacked this game tonight.
2nd down and 4. That's Bohr in the backfield. That's a tough snap. And Spicer is going to take a sack. 3rd sack of the game, and it was really who can get there first. Maximum Fono Moana is joined by Ben Roberts. They might split that sack. 3rd, as I mentioned, of the game for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and those two defenders have done a good job of creating some chaos in that backfield.
3rd down and 13. Now the ball at the 30-yard line. This could be a huge stop once again for Kahuku's defense, who's been, as I said, very good. They've given up 19 points, but really 17, as 2 of that came on a safety and special teams.
Yep.
And a lot of the time they've been playing with a short field. Now they've got a more standard drive that Gorman's trying to develop, and the Gales are in a 3rd and long situation with a 4-receiver set in the back of the backfield. Tight ends.
Watch number 30 on that end. Back.
Spicer as Kahuku rushing 4. Now they're going to run a screen underneath. They got blockers out in front. Norman's pretty good in the open field. He's going to get tackled back near the original line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to mark him at the 37, knee down. A gain of 7 yards. They'll bring up 4th down, and the punting unit on for the Gales.
Yeah, Faia Atuli came up and really hit him hard. But like we talked about Norman, it's hard to get him off his feet and really square him up. He bounced off that hit and picked up a few more yards.
So this offense for Kahuku looking to see if they can get on track here in the second half and should get decent field position. This is just the 2nd time in the game that the Gales have punted, and it is a very short punt. And it is going to take a Red Raider bounce, a huge one, and it's going to go out of bounds right around the Gales' 48-yard line.
Best field position of the night for the Red Raiders.
Well, you cannot dial this up any better for Kahuku. You had the punt that was short, and then it bounced back towards Gorman, and it bounced by everybody. They couldn't down it while it was still on the Red Raiders side of the field, and it's going to be spotted at the 47-yard line. This is just the 2nd time Kahuku will have the ball on the other side of the field here in the game. And let's see who they come out with at quarterback. They are going to go with Sanford Tupuola. So Tupuola is in the game at quarterback. And you got a new running back in there as well, Nohoa Pule, who's now going to move over to tight end. So you're going to go with a 4-receiver set, make that 5-receiver set for Sanford Tupuola. He takes a snap. Here comes the blitz. It's a quick out to the far side, and the tight end looking to get some running room, and that's a great open field tackle. Wow. Wow, look at that play by Braden Correa on one-on-one island out there. He goes ahead and makes the tackle at the 38-yard line for a loss of 1.
Yeah, that ball gets out there quick. That should be the advantage to the offense, but as you mentioned, Correa nullified that quickly. And that was they lost yardage on that play, about a yard on that throw, but I like the way they got the ball out quick, not staying in the pocket, trying to get it out, trying to create something. And we're seeing it, the couple of drops by the tight end position in the first half, Jeff, and the coaching staff made a quick change at the QB position and at the tight end position.
Well, both Sanford Tupuola and Mara Tarangi are both juniors. 5 receivers set again, this time 3 to the near side. Sanford Tupuola, quick out again. This one, oh man, that is a big hit in the secondary. And we got penalty markers flying in.
And that young man's still down on the sidelines.
Yeah, that's a defenseless receiver type of play there. And that's going to be a first down for Kahuku.
Yeah, Jet Washington with that vicious hit. He's 6'5".
And now we got some guys talking to each other, and credit to both Gorman and Kahuku players who are the cooler heads are jumping in and saying, hey, let's walk it back, let's walk it back. So that's going to look like it's going to be a penalty, a 15-yard penalty against Bishop Gorman.
Yeah,
is my thought here, but let's see what the officials say.
I couldn't tell if he caught the ball on the.
He did not. No, it wasn't not a catch at all.
Okay.
Good to see the receiver pop back up. That's good. Didn't see who that was along the sideline. That is a 15-yard penalty against Gorman for a defenseless receiver, so it's going to put the ball at the 33-yard line. And if, this is the deepest that Kahuku has gotten in the game. Their first down off of a penalty by Gorman, just Gorman's 3rd penalty of the game.
Boy, if you're Red Raiders, you got to capitalize on this. This is your golden opportunity to get back into this game.
Sanford Tupuola again with the empty backfield. They're going 5 receivers again. This time 3 to the near side, 2 to the far side of the field, the short side. Gorman showing blitz. Tight end in motion. Here comes the blitz. Here comes the pass, getting it out quickly. And we got a penalty marker as we're going to have a late hit on the quarterback.
But I didn't see that one.
Yep, roughing the passer.
Mm-hmm.
He got the ball out, and then they pushed him to the ground, and there were a couple steps the defender took before he got there. So that was not just a conventional, he got rid of the ball, bam, bam. Mm-hmm. That was got rid of the ball, step, step, bam. And not a huge hit, but still, that's going to result in a 15-yard penalty again against Bishop Gorman. So back-to-back 15-yard penalties, 2 first downs, and Kahuku's going to have the ball around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, that time, like you said, he read what the pressure was coming, and the junior quarterback got it out of the pocket to avoid the sack. And after that, I was tracking the football and not seeing what was occurring in the backfield.
So now they're going to go with a 5-receiver set with 4 to the near side in a diamond formation, and 1 receiver to the far side. That's Mansuliai. Sanford Tupuola takes a snap, looking left, throwing left. Got a few blockers in front of him. This is going to be a nice tackle at the 15-yard line by Correa. Gain of 3 yards on the reception. Isaiah Joaquin with the grab. And I'll make it 2nd and 7. I got to think here, if you're Kahuku, you got to come away with points, even if it's 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it a 2-possession game. Obviously, you need to get 2 scores and 2 2-point conversions, but 19-3 would look a lot better than 19-0. And obviously, you got a few plays between now and when you have to make that decision.
Yeah, but you see the emphasis now of just getting that ball out of the pocket quickly, not allowing Gorman's defense to kind of corral and cause turnovers by the quarterback.
Sanford Tupuola again with an empty backfield. Quick hitter again on the slant route underneath, and boy, that was a great misdirection play, but the pass thrown a little bit behind his intended target, incomplete, 3rd and 7.
You know, one thing is you see real here is it looks like you got a bunch of receivers not really sure on these plays because they probably haven't practiced them a lot, and you can see the throws, like you mentioned, are low, a little bit behind.
Well, and the other thing, too,
it's tough to kind of change your entire philosophy at half.
Well, and except for the left tackle, all of these kids were on the junior varsity last year on the offensive side. So even if they've been practicing it a ton, it's one thing to practice it on your practice field. It's another thing to do it in a game against the number 2 team in the country.
Exactly.
3rd down and 7. Man in motion to the far side of the field. That is Kaanga. Here is a pass across the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Thrown into double coverage, and a nice pick by Washington.
Yeah, that's Washington, and boy, he's really showing you why he is a quality safety. He's got the height, he's got the physicality, and right there, he read it perfectly. You mentioned it, double coverage, and he stepped right in front of that receiver and intercepted that ball. It's a junior going against a senior, and that's a mismatch in right now.
Well, and a great read by the safety, stepping up. I mean, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. The ball returned from about the 2-yard line out to the 16. So 14 yards on the return. Excuse me, out to the 19, I should say. So 17 yards on the return. And Gorman's defense once again comes up big, despite the 2 15-yard penalties, putting Kahuku in their best field position. An opportunity to score in the game. It still remains 19-0, 7:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. Here is Eugenio in the game, and a running play is going to get a few yards.
That was a flop, folks.
Terrence Grant on the carry.
We had a little flopping here.
Well,
trying to draw a penalty.
Perhaps. It is getting a little chippier here in this 3rd quarter, that is for sure. The ball out to the 24.
Disagree.
Gain of 5 yards. So now you've got...
And here's that scenario, Jeff, that we talked about.
Yeah, Micah Eugenio's back in the game. This on the 2nd possession, not the 3rd. At least in the 2nd half. 1 back in the backfield, 3 receivers far side, 1 near side. Eugenio is going to keep it on the ground. That's a delayed handoff to Grant, who fumbles the football, and it looks like Kahuku's got it. And they do. A fumble at the 31-yard line recovered by the Red Raiders. Didn't see who got the strip, but that was a nice defensive play.
Yeah, and it looked like the runner just didn't protect the football quite enough, Jeff. Didn't keep it tight to his body, left it out a little bit, and that allowed a defender to get the hand in there and disrupt the carry, and it went on the turf and recovered by the defense.
Well, and for Grant there, Eugenio hung on to the ball a long time, and Grant finally got it and had to do a spin move because he was trying to pull it away, and it took so long. So he was spinning right out of the gate, then got hit and spun again, and then the ball a little bit away from his body. All right, Red Raiders back out on the field offensively, a 5-receiver package. Gorman not blitzing here. They're only going to rush 4. Pass underneath to the tight end. Nice first move. And a big gain is going to get a first down to the 20-yard line. That's Ayu with the catch.
Yeah, good for him because if you remember, Jeff, he dropped the ball just like that. That could have gotten a big gain in the first half. And they come back with that play to him, and this time he capitalizes for a first down.
The ball now at the 20. Second time in as many possessions, the Red Raiders are in the red zone.
Say that 10 times.
Well, I won't because I don't want to subject our audience to that That kind of earworm.
There you go.
No and thank you. I'm sure they are breathing a sigh of relief. Sanford Tupuola. Trips to the right, 2 to the near side. Takes a snap, looking, pump fakes. Now he's going to step up and run. He's got a lot of room up the middle. He's looking for the end zone, and he is in for a touchdown.
Same exact quarterback sneak play that we saw in the first half, and they executed perfectly, just like the in the first half. As the quarterback waits, and then Olivier sees that opening and goes right up to shoot, either off either guard, and challenges the defense to stop him as he runs right up the middle of the field. The safeties are already out in their coverage, can't come back to help out. And by the time Washington gets there, he's already in the end zone.
Well, and Sanford Tupuola kept dropping back, and the seas parted, and he was right up the middle, and there was nobody there. You're absolutely right, Thomas, and did a nice job getting into the end zone. The extra point try coming up here, and this is Manoa Kalapuna, who is on for the extra point, trying to make this a 19-7 game. High snap, kick up, and that will split the uprights, and the Kahuku crowd, which came a long way to watch this game, exploded on that far side like they had been sitting like a teapot that was trying to come to a boil, and they have popped right there, as so is the offense, and it's a 19-7 game.
Yeah, my apologies. That was Sanford Tuapolo right there, and he showed great running ability on that play, and really recognized it and executed it perfectly, because it's all key on the quarterback. Kind of has to keep the secondary from not converging on him. They still have to remain in their pass coverage, and that allows the opening of the middle of the field for him to run.
So now Bishop Gorman, how will they respond? We will see in a moment, as the Red Raider is going to kick off, and you've got an excited Kahuku crowd, and still a long way to go for Kahuku to get back in the football game all the way. Bishop Gorman will need some kind of response here. Low line drive kick near the sideline, picked up on a hop at the 15, down that sideline and knocked out of bounds close to the 30-yard line on the return. About 15 yards on that return by Alexander Perez. Well, there seems to be a lot of conversation happening after these plays, and
well, these are two teams that like to hit and don't mind getting physical. And we're seeing, as you mentioned, that time it was number 40, Christian McComber. McComber sat out the whole year last season, so he's ready to do about as much as he possibly can on the football field.
Eugenio's going to stay in the game. Miles Norman in at running back, and he has been electric for Gorman in this game so far when he's gotten the ball with a little bit of space. He's going to shift to the right in the backfield and take the handoff on first down. He's up the middle in the secondary, and what did we say? Norman is on the run. Norman down to the 30 and tackled inside the 25-yard line. Well, I said he was electric, and that may have been an understatement.
Yeah, and give credit to Solai right there. He ran him down and got him from behind, or else that would have been an easy touchdown. Great effort there by the secondary player for the Red Raiders.
Well, Norman has been the guy in the running game that has been so effective. The ball is at the 25-yard line after a gain of 45 yards on the carry. 4:38 and counting here in the third quarter. Eugenio is going to say, hey, why don't we put you to the left this time, Norman, and hand it and let you run right. Let's see what happens. Not as much this time, as he will be stopped after about a yard. Getting there first was Fono Uimoana. Maximum with maximum effort there makes the tackle, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, he's coming off the tackle and sliding down to make that play on the opposite side of the field. So he's come from the weak side to come over to the strong side to make a hit. Great effort.
Gale's cheerleading squad calling for a touchdown. Fans are hoping for one as a response to that last Kahuku score. In one play, Gorman quickly on the other side of the field. Eugenio looking to throw. He's got some time. He gets rid of the ball. He's got a completion and a first down inside the 10. No, they're going to spot it just outside the 10-yard line. But a great catch by Naea.
Yeah, and a great throw, as you mentioned, because Eugenio got hit right as he threw the football. And I thought they might have called the roughing the passer, but the referee kept his flag in his pocket right there. But that was pretty close.
It was close, but it was like step hit after the throw, not step
right.
Push, right? So that's the difference there.
And he actually helped him to the ground, which I also think helps a lot too.
Hand off to Core. Core is going to be hit around the 6-yard line and might eke out an extra yard to the 5. We'll see where we spot it there. The Gales can get another first down at the 1. That is a gain of 5 yards to the 6-yard line, 2nd and 5. Under 3 minutes remaining, third quarter. Keep an eye on Derek Meadows. He's lined up to the near side along with kind of Watson in the slot, one to the far side. Got a double tight end set to the right. And now Core sets up right. Core now running left as the tight end shift that way. Does he get into the end zone? No, he is down at the goal line, but he should have enough for a first down.
Yeah, that time for Meadows, they put an extra defender on his side. And that kind of opened up the running lane on the opposite side for the Gales.
Yeah, even though they were running away from Meadows' side of the field, you've now got 2 defenders on him, and you got to call some attention to that. Meadows doesn't have a touchdown in the game, but now last time he was at the 1-yard line, Eugenio was going to hand it off to a deep man, got his foot stepped on, and just kind of spun his way into the end zone with a little help from his teammates. Let's see if he goes to Core here. He's going to move him to the right. Eugenio takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get in for another 1-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, it's a little trouble with that, but that time a little bit better. He got hit pretty good on his ankle. He's kind of walking it off here.
But a great response by Bishop Gorman to come back after the Kahuku touchdown with a 70-yard drive of their own.
Yeah, aided by that big run by Norman, as you mentioned, the spark plug for their offense tonight.
And now at the end of the play, we have Alema Iosua, who is down on the field, one of the offensive linemen for Bishop Gorman. He was lining up on the left-hand side of that line. So there's a timeout on the field with 1:53 to go in the third quarter. But that's the kind of response you need to have. You've got a team that you've had down. You have a mistake. They capitalize and score. Now it looks like they've got momentum on their side. The crowd is fired up, and Norman with that big 45-yard run certainly quieted them, and then you complete the drive with another touchdown. That's how you're supposed to do it if you're Gorman and you're going to be one of the top teams in the country this year.
Yeah, and that's really how national championship teams do it. Quite frankly, they give a little hope for their opponent, but they shut that down quickly on the next drive.
Now you don't want to leave an opening there. And meanwhile, why don't we take a quick break here on the NFHS Network as they are attending to Iosua on the field. We'll be back here on the NFHS Network in just a moment.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo!
Iosua being helped off the field to our right-hand side. And now the extra point trying to make this a 26-7 game as the kick is up out of the hold of Watson. Borsari connects. This time the snap was good. He didn't have to stutter step and then just kind of chip it. And a 70-yard drive for Bishop Gorman makes the score 26-7 again. And as I mentioned before, we went to break, 1:53 to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Red Raiders come out here. You would think that they would get conventional field position, not the ball. It's kind of ironic. The field is slanted in their direction here in the second half. So it'll be interesting how they react and respond to now down again by 19 points.
Well, you got to. I mean, again, if you're going to be a top team, and Kahuku is planning on winning the Open again this year in Hawaii, and they've got a tough schedule. You're going to have games like this, and you're going to have to show you can come back on teams, and you may not come away with a win necessarily, but you got to keep the effort through all 48 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those teams that we'll all keep an eye on to see how well they improve as the season begins. You know, their defense is right there, like we were talking about at the top of the broadcast. It's really about the offense coming together and growing as a unit.
Here's the kickoff. Short kick. And a fair catch this time, going to be called at the 27-yard line.
I think it
was
was
smart play by Ayu.
Yeah.
See if they spot it at the 26 or the 27. Looks like they're going to put it at the 27-yard line. So you got a longer field for Sanford Tupuola, assuming he is going to be back out there at quarterback again. Did a nice job on the last couple drives. He did throw a pick on the first one, but I think that's, again, you're talking about a player who was at the JV level last year, and if Mara Tarangi was getting the bulk of the snaps at the JV level, you're now cutting your teeth at the varsity level against the number 2 team in the country. I mean, literally, it's like you went and played LSU and Alabama in the first 2 games of the season. I mean, St. Louis, the number 2 team in your state and your rival, and you get a nice win there, and then you come here to play Bishop Gorman, and now you've got Alabama.
And they're opening it up with a...
And now we got a whistle and a penalty marker and a false start.
I guess on the offense.
Someone moved. There was a lot of shifting defensively. But that is against the offense.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I believe it.
First penalty of the second half for
the Red Raiders.
For the Red Raiders, yeah. You have 2 on Gorman, both of the personal foul variety for 30 yards. That one there for 5 yards, just the third penalty of the game against Kahuku. Sanford Tupuola on first down. He's going to throw a long ball down the field and a little bit over the head of his receiver. Nice effort as that pass intended for Kaanga. In coverage on the play was Washington combining with Pesi Silva.
That play works if Kayanga could get a little separation from the defender right there.
Well, and he kind of cut the angle back toward the middle of the field. Maybe that was where the play was designed to go, but the ball was thrown a little bit more towards the sideline. So,
looked like the ball was actually thrown to his outer shoulder too.
Well, in that situation, incomplete is better than intercepted.
Oh yeah.
Of the 2 words that start with IN, you want the first one, not the second. 5 receiver set again as Kahuku has gone throughout here the second half. Pass underneath. That pass is caught. Nice job. First catch of the game for Zenon Alarosa. Alarosa out near the 34-yard line for a gain of 7 yards, setting up 3rd and 3.
Good route right there, and what a great catch because he knew he was going to get a hit. And he did by number 10, Landon McComber.
Yeah, McComber, the 6'2", 215-pound senior linebacker.
Yeah.
The McComber family is churning out some pretty good linebackers. You got Christian, a sophomore, already at 6 feet, 200. Trips to the near side, 2 to the far side. Gorman's been playing a lot of guys back in coverage here instead of blitzing. And they're going to continue. No, actually a running play here. They're going to bring up the linebackers, and that's maybe to the 35-yard line, if that. It might be no gain, and that'll set up 4th and 3.
Yeah, that play didn't look like it was well executed right there.
And the punting unit's going to come on. Well, nice job again by the Gorman defense. They have been pretty steady and have held Kahuku to just 5 first downs in the game, 2 of those coming through penalties.
Yeah, it's scary to think they might be better defensively this season than they were last season.
Long snap, high kick, short kick, and it is going to take a bounce kind of a little bit in favor of Kahuku down around the 41-yard line of Bishop Gorman, and that's where the ball will be down with 2 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. So the Gales offense going to trot out there for one more play before the end of the 3rd. And as the rotational quarterbacks continue, Eugenio is going to stay in there.
Yeah, he's been, seems like the offense has gone a little bit better with him as a quarterback tonight. Spicer.
I mean, both quarterbacks have been pretty solid. You know,
Yeah.
it's not been smooth, but it is also their first game of the year.
Yeah, but coaches are always going to say when a turnover causes on your watch, and then the other guy gets a touchdown, and then he'll get the next series.
Well, Eugenio is going for a home run ball, and
Yeah.
he's going to overthrow his receiver. But boy, that was a pretty nice
and he was
display
pressured.
of his arm there. That ball was about 50 yards in the air. And that will end the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break here on the NFHS Network with Bishop Gorman leading at 26-7 as the teams exchange touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter. You're following the game on your home for high school sports, the NFHS Network.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it for Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. The Cayetano touchdown. Elijah wins it. The championship.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Well, as you can tell from your view here, those little dots moving across your screen there, that's the planes lining up to fly into Las Vegas for another weekend here in the city where your, whatever happens here stays here. I think the Bishop Gorman Gales will be happy to say, hey, look, we won here, and we'd like to let everybody know that we did. And that's, they're 12 minutes away from that with the football and a lead of 19 points against the Kahuku Red Raiders. Ball at the 41-yard line. A 2nd down and 10 situation for Micah Eugenio, who just threw a ball 50 yards down the field, pretty much flat-footed. That was a nice toss, even though the pass was incomplete.
Don't exactly know what the trouble here is.
I'm not sure either. Officials, maybe there was a conversation taking place on the far side. One of our line judges was still getting reset. So Eugenio is going to put it back to his right, trips to the near side, one to the far side. Here's the snap. He's looking to throw. He's going to overthrow his target. This time it was Watson on the near sideline, incomplete. In coverage on the play was Malachi Vendiola.
Yeah, that time Eugenio, first time he really was overthrowing a ball pretty high. Watson was just not going to be able to get that one for a reception.
So now a third down situation. Eugenio getting the play call from the sideline. See what the coaching staff dials up for Bishop Gorman here.
Pretty unique setup here.
Eugenio's looking to throw. He's looking right. He's going to step up. He's going to be hit as he throws, and a laser down the sideline. It's going to be caught, but out of bounds, incomplete. Boy, that was a great throw and a fantastic catch by Kyle Watson. Unfortunately, he was out of bounds, but took an act of courage right there, and that was a laser as Eugenio was getting hit on the throw.
Yeah. He's kind of making a case for himself for next season.
He is. He's making a case for himself for this season, too.
No doubt.
Boy, you got Spicer and Eugenio.
Yeah.
You got two good quarterbacks out there for Gorman. Punting unit is now on, though, for the Gales after 3 passes incomplete. Alexander Perez, a late arrival onto the punt team, will now line up on that left side of the line. Good snap. Kick away. End over end. Going to take a hop that will be fielded at the 19-yard line by Kahuku and upended at the 23. Nice job getting down the field. The long snapper, Jason Arredondo, in coverage with the tackle.
Yeah, we talk about last season with Bishop Gorman all night. The offense last season, Jeff, was just amazing. On the season, they averaged 431 total yards of offense and 49 points per game. I mean, that's Madden numbers.
It is. Yeah, that's like you're playing at the real basic level there.
That's like, you're coming off a nice 36-hour, getting the new Madden, and right at your 35th hour, you got like a nice 435-yard average there.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
Maybe. Maybe.
Sanford Tupuola back out on the field. His team down by 19, 11:35 to go. If you can get a little something going here, if you're Kahuku, maybe there's a little bit of life left. First play is a pass play, and it's going to be overthrown along the far sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. We talk about the Red Raiders, how they develop. Like you mentioned, they won the Open Division title over there in Hawaii, and this year it's sort of a little bit of a rebuild offensively, and you wonder how long it's gonna. Their defense, no doubt, is championship level.
Absolutely.
But how long will it take actually for the offense to kind of come up to par? That's going to be a real interesting story as we move forward this season.
Yes, and it's one test against Bishop Gorman. It'll be tests against other teams, but they're playing modern day as well, so they're going to get both the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the country within a span of about 3 weeks. So this offense is going to have to mature fast. Good pass to the outside. That is a completion, and then out of bounds across the 30 to the 31-yard line for a pickup of 7.
And look, it's unfortunate that they made a quarterback change, they made a couple other changes, but that's how coaching staffs are. I mean, when they see a problem and they're not going to wait for it to try to rectify itself. If it's not working, they're going to make changes quickly, and we're seeing a little bit more cohesiveness offensively. But like you mentioned, the QB is just a little bit doesn't have the experience right yet to kind of maybe handle this level at this time.
Well, yeah, and especially at this level, you're going to have, probably a quicker switch in this type of a game than you might in a game against a team that's 5-5 level.
Exactly.
Here's a pass on third down. That's going to be complete, and a first down out to the 35-yard line for a gain of 5 yards. Clock will stop temporarily while they move the chains. It's a nice job by Sanford Tupuola and the coaching staff going for a little bit of ball control here, but you're trying to build some confidence. I mean, again, this is all like part of the learning process like you were just talking about a moment ago, Thomas, and if this is a long drive that goes 77 yards and results in a touchdown but takes 6.5 minutes to do it and you come out on the short end of the stick, you'll take that as part of the growth process. That would be a big win in a fourth quarter type of situation for Kahuku.
Yeah, Stanford Tuapola has really done an excellent job of getting that ball out quickly and really making the right reads there. You can move it out quickly, but you got to also make completions.
And now he's going to step up and run with it. And he's going to take on a linebacker. That's a nice matchup. You got Landon McComber at 215 pounds and Sanford Tupuola at 205. And that's a gain of 6 yards to the 41-yard line. And anytime a quarterback takes on a linebacker like that, I wonder if Coach Carvalho is telling him that right now. It always makes you catch your breath in your throat a little bit. You don't want an injury.
Yeah, no doubt. That is always on the mind of the coaches when their quarterback is running.
Under 10 minutes to play. Kahuku trying to grind out some first downs. They've got a 2nd and 4. Pass underneath. That pass is complete, and a first down there on the catch from Jaden Tagaloa. Tagaloa's first reception out to midfield.
Yeah, good route running right there. Good sharp cut to the middle of the field, and he got himself a first down.
I'm not sure why they're running the clock here. They hadn't set the chains or anything. It should have stopped the clock on the first down, but they were running it there, so that's interesting. 9:30 and counting here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and our lead official was the one cranking the arm saying, let's get it going. So unless the ball was spotted, and he's like, well, the chain guys better hurry up.
Yeah.
We're getting this going. 5 receiver set, 4 to the near side. Fresh set of downs for the Red Raiders. Sanford Tupuola steps up, throws to the sideline, and that pass is incomplete. Nice defense on the far side of the field by Gorman. That was Hayden Stepp in coverage, a sophomore. 2nd down and 10 at midfield. Well, I like that Kahuku is taking their time here.
Mm-hmm.
They are relating to this like, hey, we need to not necessarily grind clock. I don't think that's the intention, but we got a long drive to make. We need to be methodical in how we do it.
Yeah.
All part of the learning process. Now they're going to throw a deep ball, and it's going to be intercepted.
Yeah, that time 2 receivers in the area, and that pass wasn't close to neither one of the intended receivers.
Isaiah Nichols, it was over the head of Soliai. I didn't catch the deeper receiver, but it was in between the two of them, and the person in between the two of them was Nichols for the interception. That is the 3rd interception thrown by the Red Raiders in the game, and their 4th turnover.
Tagaloa was the other receiver, Jeff, 27.
So now it'll be Bishop Gorman football at their own 30-yard line with 8:55 to go. Folks, at the conclusion of today's game, stay tuned for the NFHS Network post-game show. Thomas and I will step away for a few moments, come back with the post-game, name our player of the game, which always comes from the winning team, and wrap up our coverage here from Bishop Gorman. And this, the opening week of the football season at the high school level. Here is a first down running play by the Gales that's going to get good yardage out to the 39-yard line, maybe the 38. Looks like they're going to spot the knee down at the 38. That's a gain of 8 yards.
Spicer back in as quarterback.
And then slow getting up at the end of that play was another one of the linemen. This time it is KJ Hallams. He's going to get back to the huddle. They're actually going to spot at the 39. So they're going to give 9 yards on the carry by Norman. Miles Norman. Someone's going to take an interest in him. Boy, you get the ball to him in the open field or give him a hole big enough, and he's through it quickly, and he's been explosive. 45 yards, the longest run from scrimmage by either team in the game. That was Norman right after Kahuku scored. I think really the key play in the game, because you got Kahuku with the score. If they get a stop or hold Gorman to just 1 first down on their end of the field, maybe it's a different story here. But instead, Norman, the big carry, he's got the ball here. He's going to get a first down, and he's going to absorb a hit and then keep his feet and take it to the 44.
And he just keeps his legs moving.
He does.
That's what they teach you.
Not shy about contact either.
No, and it's hard to square up on him because of his height and weight. Can't get really a good square-on hit on him, so he kind of bounces off of you.
So a gain of 5 to the 44-yard line. No reason why Gorman will do anything but keep this on the ground here, up 26-7. Spicer trying to hustle his team up here a little bit with the play clock in mind. Gets the snap off. Norman, the carry, going to bounce to the outside. This has been trouble so far, but good pursuit by the Kahuku Red Raiders linebacking core. Will stop him around the 48-yard line for a gain of 4.
Yeah, I didn't get to catch that number, but that outside defender stretched that play out perfectly. Did not allow Norman to cut up until about the numbers, and that allowed his teammates to pursue over there and make a tackle. I guess the only negative we can say about the Gales tonight was the loss of one of their offensive linemen here in the third quarter. He's still on the trainer's table. I see him over there.
Yeah, that's Iosua. Late arrival for Kahuku, and here's Spicer stepping up to throw and now run, and he's going to get a good positive gain across midfield into Red Raider territory at the 48-yard line, where he'll be 2 yards shy of a first down. Well, if you're Coach Browner assessing your first game of the year, the penalties, you've had 6 so far. Obviously, we've got about another half of a quarter to go. 2 of them, though, personal fouls. Doesn't hurt him here, but could hurt him down the road. They have, though, at this stage, 14 first downs. That's pretty good. They've turned the ball over twice, however. I think would you give yourself? A C+, B- at Bishop Gorman level? I think other teams would say, hey, and we came away with a win. I'm going to give ourselves a B+. But I think Browner would say not bad getting out of here with a first game win, assuming they hold on here in the last under 6 minutes to play. Here's a screen pass, juggling catch, and look out. Down the sideline we go with Greg Toller, and he's going to get in the end zone for a touchdown. What a catch and run. A 48-yard pass play, and Gorman extends their lead.
Yeah, 2 cuts that he made after he caught the football. Flat-footed the defenders right there and got himself a beautiful touchdown run. And beautiful throw by Spicer, get that ball out quickly. And that dual-threat quarterback got himself a touchdown throw, man. That's a great play, well executed by the Gales, and that might have been it for tonight's game.
Well, I think that for Bishop Gorman, you've got 2 quarterbacks. Eugenio's run for 2 touchdowns, and Spicer has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Right. Take that any day of the week. Meanwhile, at the end of the play, you have a Kahuku defensive player down on the far side of the field, right around the original line of scrimmage, on what would be the right side of the offensive line, defensive line's left side. I did not catch the number of that player, well away from where the play was going, which was to our near sideline.
They already took away his helmet, so that's not good. 45.
That's Shaden Yu, a junior defensive lineman.
And he's walking gingerly.
Well, but it's good to see him walking, so hopefully nothing too serious here with 5:30 to play. And now the score 32-7, Bishop Gorman on the touchdown pass. So Nichols' pick turns into a Toller touchdown. And the extra point try coming up here for Bersari. Good snap, and that kick is good. 33-7 is our score. Well, a nice drive by Bishop Gorman, 70 yards, a touchdown. That's their second 70-yard drive in their last 3 possessions.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, you love when you get a turnover, converting it into a score. they've done that tonight. So just a good all-around start for the Gales as they head on the road next week. They play in that big ESPN game down in Florida against St. Thomas Aquinas, and then, as you mentioned, they go to California to play Modern Day, and we'll be there for that.
Yeah, and for the Red Raiders, they've got Kona Waina on Saturday on the road. Then they've got Waimea the week after that. They got a week off, and then they play Modern Day on September 14th for their 5th game of the year. So it will move quickly for the Red Raiders. And yet, like you said, I mean, Bishop Gorman, they play a top-notch schedule. You got St. Thomas Aquinas, you got a week off, then you're at Modern Day. We'll have that game on the NFHS Network. Then you're back here with Orange Lutheran.
We'll have that on the NFHS Network.
Correct. So then a game off, then Liberty, which is always a big one.
Yeah.
Liberty was the last team to beat Bishop Gorman for a state title. And that was a couple of years ago. So some good games coming your way. That game also on the NFHS Network. Here's a short kick, and this is going to be returnable from the 27-yard line across the 35 out to the 38. And that is where the play will stop, an 11-yard return. 5:25 to go in this one.
Yeah, just right now for the Red Raiders, you just want to get some positive, feel good about yourself, especially the offense. If they can get a drive and, well, like you mentioned earlier, don't care if you run the entire clock out. As long as you could get some positives and get something on film that'll make everybody feel good about the situation right now, because you got to believe those 11 players that are going to come on the field, they know they're struggling, and they're trying to solve the problem too, just as much as the coaching staff.
Well, what's your message for Coach Carvalho at the end of this game to your team?
It's again, we got to be protective of the football. The turnovers to me are the glaring ones. If I'm not mistaken, I think they got 3 interceptions tonight.
That's correct, and a fumble, and then you've got that safety on the snap. That really is almost like another turnover.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Mara Tarangi back in the game at quarterback. He's going to throw a quick out to the far side that's going to lose a couple of yards back to the 35-yard line. Yeah, I think also you got to remind your guys, and this is 7 turnovers now in 2 weeks against 2 really good teams.
Yeah.
The first time they were able to overcome it against St. Louis, you're not able to do that against a Bishop Gorman. And you got to remind your players, hey, we are a very good football team. We're the number 1 team in the state of Hawaii for a reason, but we're playing. It's a big jump between the number 30 team in the nation and the number 2 team in the nation. You're seeing that tonight. Mara Tarangi set to throw again, pass underneath, and that is going to be, let's see if they're going to call that a catch or incompletion. I believe they're going to call it an incompletion, as we've got a player now at the end of that play with a cramp in the calf on that far sideline. It's 3rd down back at the 35-yard line, and we'll have a quick stoppage of play. Well, and we saw that last year, too. We had Milton of Georgia come in and play Modern Day in Southern California, and Milton was the number 6 team in the state of Georgia, which is an outstanding, obviously, football state, as is Hawaii, right? And so you've got that game, number 6 team in the state of Georgia against one of the top, at the time, Modern Day was maybe the number 1 or 2 team in the country with Bosco. They were kind of hovering right there, St. John Bosco at 1 and 2. And that game ended up about 55-6.
Yeah.
And, Milton, Georgia had about 3 guys going Division I next year, outstanding players, very good. Modern Day had Division I players at the 2nd and 3rd on the depth chart who are going to be playing. They're just sophomores waiting for the junior and senior in front of them to age out and graduate, right? And so, that jump is pretty high, and I think Kahuku's running into that a little bit tonight. 4:41 to play. Mara Tarangi is going to throw a deep ball, and Washington has his 2nd pick. Well, you're trying to make something happen if you're Kahuku, and Washington has been patrolling the back and has been doing a nice job all night long for the Gales.
Yeah, once again, overthrow. Washington played it perfectly, intercepted it, and with 4:30 to go, that might be the last time we see the Red Raiders offense tonight, the way the Gales can kind of slow this game down and kind of run the clock out. But boy, I'm telling you, Jeff, I've been really impressed with their defense. This is a high-level defense.
It is.
It's going to be really interesting to see what their totals are at the end of the year, because this looks like a special group.
Spicer back in the game is going to give it to Grant on first down at the 30-yard line, and Grant is going to be pushed out of bounds across the 30.
Ooh, got a little pushing and shoving.
A little bit at the end of that play.
He might have lost his balance. I might have overreacted.
you look like you were the only one. Just if I'm being honest about it, everyone else seemed like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But given what we saw a little bit in the third quarter, I can understand it. Gain of 2 for Grant on the play, and the officials keep that clock going right away under 4 minutes to go. Again, likely that the Gales will keep the ball on the ground here. Good opportunity for Grant to get some carries. Terrence Grant, just a sophomore. Well, what do I know? Here's Spicer stepping up to throw. Now he's going to run, and he's going to dive forward to the 40-yard line. I kind of question that just a little bit. I mean, obviously, Coach Browner, an outstanding coach, but do you want to put your quarterback up 26 points in a potential injury situation where he's dropping back to pass and running the football under 4 minutes to play?
I hear you. He's just an outstanding dual-threat quarterback, and sometimes plays are designed for him to run. And with that offensive line, I know with the injury it might be a little weakened, but there's still top players on that offensive line. They open up that hole for him pretty good.
Well, a nice gain of 7 yards to set up a 3rd and 1. And we're now under 3 minutes to play. Spicer puts Grant to his left, and we've got some movement along the line.
This is also another part of the game where coaches really will get on teams is coming out of a huddle lackadaisical and then false starting. They like that team that runs up to the line quick and executes the play. So we're speaking high praises of Bishop Gorman, but I guarantee you Coach Browner and his staff will have a different take on this game than we do.
Yeah, they've definitely found some things that they can work on between now and next week against St. Thomas Aquinas, where you can't make those types of mistakes, especially on a road trip like that. Here is Spicer throwing underneath. That pass is caught for a first down. Nice job by Eli Yamauchi. Yamauchi with his first catch of the game. 6'2", 240-pound senior takes it out to the 42-yard line.
That's some of the coolest parts of this portion of a game is getting the guys that practice and hustle, get them out on the field and get their name into the stats book.
Well, Coach Browner said we'd see a lot of guys tonight, and we have. That is for sure. We've seen both quarterbacks. We've seen a host of running backs, different receivers getting the football. Here is a handoff into the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be Core, it looks like, to the 45-yard line. And so they're going to give him 2 yards to the 44 with 1:45 and counting in this one. Well, as we mentioned, NFHS Network postgame show coming up in just a few moments. All that remains here is the final score, 33-7 right now. Bishop Gorman trying to wind some clock, high possession, high percentage passes, and a little bit of running like Core is doing here. Core is thinking end zone, breaking tackles, and finally wrestled down around the 12-yard line.
Some great missed tackles and him breaking a couple of tackles, Jeff, on that run. And, I guess he made his case like, hey, I love my teammates, but don't forget me too.
That's right. We've talked a lot about Norman. We've talked a lot about Grant. And Core gets a big gain down to the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
5'11", 205 is the senior. And he's a hard runner too, oh, by the way.
Yes, as we just witnessed. Grant now in the game. He's going to get the he's going to get the carry. I thought Spicer had it for a moment. Grant's going to take it down around the 5-yard line. Second and goal. They're actually going to give him a 4-yard gain to the 6. We're under 25 seconds left. And if Gorman doesn't score here, they might just stick a pin in it at 33-7. But we'll see what they do here. Spicer needs to snap the football. Grant to his right. They'll give it to Grant again. He will be hit and knocked backwards. And that will wrap the game up. Well, we got a penalty marker at the end of this. That's probably kind of a moot point here.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they'll march this off, as the teams will meet at midfield. And it will be a 33-7 Bishop Gorman win. We will be back with the NFHS Network post-game show in just a few moments, folks. Please stay with us.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great. Participate.
The innocence of youth.